Shalom. Officer Karafia from the I.S.U.P.K. doing the Wednesday class, 7 to 9. So today we're going to go into some scriptures about the dietary law, about what you can eat, what you cannot eat. Also going to go into some misinterpreted scriptures by the Christian church that don't understand the Bible, because they say the New Testament is when Christ nailed all that to the cross. So we're going to go into that also. But first we're going to go into what man calls the Old Testament in Leviticus 11 and read the dietary law. Give me that. Can I get Leviticus 11 and 1?
Yeah, got that. Gone. Leviticus 11 and 1. And the Lord spoke unto Moses and to Aaron, saying unto them, Speak unto the children of Israel, saying, These are the beasts which ye shall eat among all the beasts that are on the earth.
Yeah, so the Most High giving Moses laws. We just come out of Egypt where we used to eat whatever we wanted. We ate whatever the Africans used to eat. So now the Most High separated us from that and is making the Most High making his own society with Israel. So he's giving us laws on what we can and what we can't eat. So prior to this, the Egyptians ate whatever they want. Every other nation ate what they want. But the Most High giving us his laws on what we can and what we can't eat. Read on.
Verse 3. Whatsoever parteth the hoof and is cloven footed.
So the Most High saying we can only eat that what is cloven footed and part of the hoof. That means like an animal with a split hoof, or something like this, like a sheep or a goat. Read on.
And cheweth the cud.
Read.
Among the beasts, that shall ye eat.
So something that is cloven footed and cheweth the cud. Now, cud is like I think a cow. A cow has like 6 stomachs, so it will chew grass, regurgitate it back up, and then go into another stomach, and regurgitate it up and go to another stomach. Now, the substance that he regurgitates back up, that is the cud. So we can only eat animals that chew the cud, that chew that substance, and that have a cloven hoof. Those are the animals we can eat. We done?
Verse 4. Nevertheless, these shall ye not eat of them that chew the cud, or of them that divide the hoof, as the camel, because he cheweth the cud, but divideth not the hoof.
There you go. So both of these, you need both requirements to eat the animal, not one. You need both of them. So it gives you an example, the camel. The camel chews the cud, he eats grass, he has multiple stomachs, but it don't have a divided hoof. A camel has a hoof like a horse, like a horseshoe. Therefore, you cannot eat that. It's unclean. Are we done?
He is unclean to you.
The camel is what?
Unclean to you.
So the camel is unclean. So you cannot eat camel. Even though it chews the cud, it don't have a dividing cloven hoof, meaning the foot. Okay, we done.
And the coney.
And the what?
And the coney.
We done.
Because he cheweth the cud, but divideth not the hoof.
So you can't eat the coney because it does chew the cud, but it don't have a divided hoof. So we're gonna go into the Zandervan Bible Dictionary and find out what coney is. A lot of people are not sure about what coney is. So we're gonna go into that. Okay, here we go. We got here. Got underline. We got here.
Coney. The coney is similar to a rabbit, except for its short legs and ears.
So a coney is from like a rabbit, from the rabbit family. So a coney we cannot eat. So I'm sure you heard that old English song, Run Rabbit, Run, Run, Run. It's talking about the farmer wants to catch a rabbit so he can make rabbit pie. But according to the Bible, that's off. You can't eat rabbit or anything from that family, from the rodent family. The coney you can't eat. Go back to Leviticus 11 and 5.
And the coney, because he cheweth the cud, but divideth not the hoof, he is unclean to you.
So no rabbits, can't be eating no rabbits or anything from the rodent family. We done?
And the hare, because he cheweth the cud, but divideth not the hoof, he is unclean to you.
So the hare also, another type of rabbit, can't eat that also. Verse 7.
And the swine, though he divide the hoof and be cloven footed, yet he cheweth not the cud, he is unclean to you.
So the swine, though it has a divided hoof, it don't chew the cud. Therefore, it's unclean. Don't eat grass. Actually, pig eat whatever they want. Therefore, we cannot eat that. You got swine in the Bible dictionary as well.
Gone.
People, I think you made that. It should be in that same animal section. People, yeah.
Is it on the swine?
Got that.
Is it on the swine?
Here you go.
Gone. Swine. Although the names of hog and pig are not named in the Bible, swine are referred to a number of times. Members of the family today, swine are unclean, although they have the divided hoof. Solomon declared that a beautiful woman without desecration is like a gold ring in a swine's snout.
Okay, so that's going to something else. But the fact that swine is what today we know as a pig. So no jet pork, no bacon sandwiches, bacon breakfast, all that's unclean according to the Bible. That's one of the main things our people eat is swine. According to the Bible, that is a sin. I know the white man's called the other white meat and all sorts. He promotes it through Asda and McDonald's sausage and egg breakfast. But according to the Bible, swine is unclean. So read Leviticus 11:7 again, please.
Gone. And the swine, though he divide the hoof and be cloven-footed, yet he cheweth not the cud. He is unclean to you.
So the swine, you cannot eat the swine, regardless of what the white man says today or what you see on the TV, what they promote. Swine's unclean. So far, the Most High has given us laws in what we are to eat, what we're not to eat. And the swine, the rabbit, and the camel so far is unclean. Read done? Verse 8.
Verse 8. Of their flesh shall ye not eat, and their carcass shall ye not touch. They are unclean to you.
Yeah, so these animals are unclean. You can't eat them, and even if they were to die, you can't even pick them up. So if a mouse was down in your house, you get a tissue or a latex glove or something, pick it up, throw it in the bin. You can't even touch it. Give me Exodus 36:19.
Gone.
Hold that though.
Exodus 36,
19.
verse 19. And he made a covering for the tent of ram skins, dyed red, and of covering of badger skins above that.
Yeah, so in Leviticus 11, it said that you can't even touch their carcasses of unclean animals. But here it's saying how they made badger skins. So how would they? I thought you can't touch the dead carcass. So how are they making badger skins over here? Exactly, because that's what a Christian will go there and say, well, look, the Bible contradicts itself because 1 minute says you can't touch the carcass. But over here, it's saying that they're touching the badger skins. Well, we're going to go in the Bible dictionary and show you what those badgers, what it means by badger skins.
Antelope.
What?
Antelope.
So when it said badger skin, the word there is antelope, but in Old English, they use the word badger. But if you look in the Strong Concordance or even the Bible Dictionary, the word there is antelope. So really, they use antelope skins. They didn't use badger skins to make the tabernacle of the Most High. It was actually antelope skins. A Christian will go there and say, well, the Bible contradicts itself, or a scoffer. It's 1 minute you can't touch the carcass, but here, how are they making badger skins? Give me and also John the Baptist as well. They say John the Baptist had a camel coat, but I thought in the law you can't have unclean animals on you. So how would you explain that one? Anyone know? Okay, give me Matthew 3 and 4.
Matthew 3 and 4.
Because they'll say, well, I thought you can't touch the carcass. Well, that's how you know Christ knelt to the cross, because John the Baptist, he had a camel coat, and you can't touch that, unclean.
Matthew 3 and 4. And the same John had his raiment of camel's hair.
Of what?
Camel's hair.
You didn't say camel skin.
Camel's hair.
Exactly. So an animal don't have to be dead to get the hair. You can shave the sheep and get the wool, and the sheep's still alive.
So you can wear fur coat.
So he said the fur. John had the fur. He didn't have the skin of it. But a Christian would say, see, or not even a Christian, but someone that hates the Bible, which I come across. You know what I mean? So they're back to Leviticus 11. Let's deviate for a second. So I think it was like 11 and 11 and 8. Read 11 and 8 again.
Leviticus 11 and 8. Of their flesh ye shall not eat, and their carcass shall ye not touch. They are unclean to you.
So they are unclean. Even if they were to die, you can't touch it. So even if you should run over a dog on the road or something, and try that, if you can avoid it, just leave it. But don't try to drag it out of the road or anything, or don't touch it. Read verse 9.
These shall ye eat of all that are in the waters.
Now the Most High is going to let us know what we can eat in the waters now. We've done the beasts on the land. Now it's going to go into what we can eat in the waters. We done?
Whatsoever has fins and scales in the waters, in the seas and in the rivers, them shall ye eat.
We done?
And all that have not fins and scales in the seas and in the rivers, of all that move in the waters, and of any living thing which is in the waters, they shall be an abomination unto you.
Okay, so read the top of verse 10 again.
Verse 10. And all that have not fins and scales in the seas and in the rivers, of all that move in the waters, and of any living thing which is in the waters, they shall be an abomination unto you.
There you go. So when it comes to things in the water like fish, you can only eat fish that have fins and scales, not one, not the other. They have both. So things like snapper fish, like what else that fins scales? Hake, fish like that. But things like shrimp, crab, lobster, can't eat. It's an abomination to you. Only things with fins and scales. Catfish, another one, got no fins, no scales, can't eat it. Only things with fish, fin and scales. So if you go to the supermarket, just ask him, does it have scales? If it's scales, you can see anyway, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just ask him. If it's chopped up, just ask him, and they'll let you know.
What about tuna? Because people, no one really knows.
They say tuna got scales under the microscope, and at this time they didn't have a microscope, so tuna remains unclean, from what I know. I can ask more, but from what I know, it remains unclean. Read verse 11.
Verse 11. They shall be even an abomination unto you.
So the abomination is like a disgusting act. You can't even touch it, it's filthy. That's what the Most High sees it. So you got people saying how, oh, it's just pig. You're telling me the Most High is going to kill me for my diet, really? But here it is abomination. So even though they try to downplay it, the Bible itself said it's an abomination. Read that again.
They shall be even an abomination unto you. Ye shall not eat of their flesh.
There you go again. You cannot eat the flesh. You cannot have it as food. Can't cook it up. Can't eat it raw or cooked. It's an abomination. You done?
But ye shall have their carcass in abomination.
There you go. Can't even touch the carcass. So read on.
Verse 12. Whatsoever have no fins nor scales in the waters, that shall be an abomination unto you.
Saying it again. So no crab, no shrimp, no lobster, catfish, oysters, or anything that lives in the water with no fins and scales. Abomination, cannot be eaten. 13.
And these are they which ye shall have in abomination among the fowls.
So now it's going to go to what birds you can eat now. Fowls are flying there. So you're going to see among the fowls what can be eaten and what cannot be eaten. You done?
They shall not be eaten. They are an abomination.
You done?
The eagle.
The eagle, can't eat the eagle. You know that bird you see on the American dollar? The bird with the long wings and birds of prey. Can't be eaten. You done?
And the ossifrage.
And the ossifrage. Can you get that from the Bible dictionary?
Go on.
Let me know what mainly birds of prey that you can't eat. Then go into it. We're going to see the ossifrages exactly. You got that from me, okay?
See birds.
No, what you can.
Salaki.
What's in the bird section?
Yes, in the birds.
Can't eat this one.
A kind of eagle.
So the ossifrage is a kind of eagle. So it's another, you know, animals are related. It's another type of eagle. So another bird of prey. Read on 13 and 11 and 13.
And the osprey.
And the osprey. You find the osprey as well. You can.
It's in the bird section.
Here you go.
Probably the sea eagle.
So you can't eat sea eagles neither. So again, these three, the eagle, the ossifrage, and the osprey, similar birds, all from the eagle family. Read 14.
And the vulture.
And the vulture, can't eat the vulture. These are mainly birds of prey, can't eat them at all. You done?
And the kite after his kind.
And the kite. Can you know what the kite is? Can you see it on the screen now? In the bird section. That's fine.
Yeah, it's hard to find. Same, got the bird section.
Okay, no worries. Okay. This is kite, a hawk or vulture. So you can't eat a kite neither, can't eat a vulture. If you go to Jamaica, there's a famous vulture called a jungle. You know about that. Yeah. Can't eat it. Can't eat any type of vulture. A vulture is an animal that like a scavenger. Like when you see them National Geographic channels and like a lion would die, you see the vulture circling the carcass, they'll come down, eat the remains. Them kind of birds you can't eat. Are we done?
Verse 15.
40, yeah, 15.
Every raven after his kind.
So no, you can't eat any type of raven. You done?
And the owl.
And the owl. Everyone knows the owl is the bird that comes out at night. Usually eats mice and chases hedgehogs and stuff and them kind of things. We done?
And the nighthawk.
And the hawk. We done?
And the cuckoo.
We done?
And the hawk after his kind.
So no kind of hawks can you eat. Any birds that are birds of prey can't be eaten. 17.
And the little owl.
And the little owl. We done?
And the cormorant.
That's what the cormorant is.
A swimmer and diver with webs between all four toes.
So it's a bird that can swim with web toes, kind of like a duck, that can't be eaten neither. You done?
And the great owl.
And the owl. Verse 18.
And the swan.
And the swan, that's the white bird, and like another kind of duck kind of animal, web feet, white, long neck, can't be eaten. The abomination unto God, unclean. We done?
And the pelican.
And the pelican, and like another similar. Again, you got the long neck, it has fish in its mouth, can't be eaten. You done?
And the gear eagle.
Another eagle can't be eaten. You done?
And the stork.
And the stork, that's the animal with the long legs. If you buy a stork bottle, you'll see a picture of it. Can't be eaten. You done, sorry.
The heron.
And the heron. There's that heron there.
Con. A long-legged, marsh-inhabiting wading bird.
So it's a long-legged bird that dwells in like the marsh or swamps. Can't be eaten. You done?
After her kind. And the lapwing.
You got that thing? Lapwing.
Con.
A lot of these animals are like old English. Words don't use no more. Like the white man's renamed them, so they're like go in the Bible dictionary and see what they name today.
The woodcock.
Yeah.
A long-billed bird living on worms.
There you go. So one bird that eats worms. You done?
So lucky.
19.
Verse 19. And the stork, and the heron after her kind, and the lapwing, and the bat.
And the bat. All about bats are can't be eaten. Not really surprising anyway. Bats don't look edible to be honest. Can't be eaten. No bats. Give me verse 20.
All fowls that creep, going unto all four, shall be an abomination unto you.
So this is talking about insects. So we can't eat no insects. There's certain insects we can eat. It's going to tell you that as we go on. We done?
Yet these may ye eat of every flying creeping thing that goeth upon all four, which have legs above their feet, to leap withal upon the earth.
So we're going into insects. We already dwelt with beasts that dwell on all fours. Talk about insects now that crawl upon the earth. 22.
Even these of them ye may eat.
Read.
The locust after his kind.
So you can eat the locust. You read in the New Testament, John the Baptist ate locusts with honey, with wild honey. So the locust you can eat. It's clean. Read on.
And the bold locust
And the bold locust also. Another kind of locust, also clean. Read.
after his kind. And the beetle after his kind.
And the beetle also, that's fine. But any other insect ain't. Read on.
And the grasshopper after his kind.
And the grasshopper is similar to a locust again. You've seen grasshoppers before, they jump around. So them insects you can eat. But verse 21, read that again.
Verse 21. Yet these may ye eat of every flying creeping thing that goeth upon all four, which have legs above their feet, to leap withal upon the earth.
There you go. So it's going into the insects. That's what you're going into. Give me back to 24, sorry.
Verse 24. And for these ye shall be unclean. Whosoever toucheth the carcass of them shall be unclean until the even.
So if you touch any of these dead animals that are unclean, you're unclean as well to even. So you have to stay out the camp, wash your clothes until even. You know, this is real science. People find it out now how to keep clean and to quarantine yourself. We had this thousands of years before the white man even thought of science. 25.
And whosoever beareth aught of the carcass of them shall wash his clothes and be unclean until the even.
So whoever carries an unclean animal shall wash his clothes and be unclean till even. So he can't come into the congregation and stay separate and like wash his clothes, wash his skin. And even you can come back and be around everybody else. We done? 26.
The carcass of every beast which divideth the hoof, and is not cloven footed, nor cheweth the cud, are unclean unto you.
The most I'm saying it again, the animal that the animal that don't chew the cud and don't have a split hoof is unclean, as he said earlier in the chapter. We done?
Everyone that toucheth them shall be unclean.
So you touch a carcass of a dead animal, touch a carcass of an unclean animal, you're unclean. If you've got a mouse in your house and you touch it with your bare hands, you're unclean. Get tissue, latex glove, or just anything to cover it over. We done?
Verse 27. And whatsoever goeth upon his paws, among all manner of beasts that go on all four, these are unclean unto you.
So anything that has paws, that's his dog, his cat, unclean. So these Chinese people eating cat soup and dog soup, whatever, going off, which, according to the Bible, is unclean. If you're a black man, Hispanic man, who moves to China and wants to eat that, don't eat it, it's wrong. 28.
And he that beareth the carcass of them shall wash his clothes, and shall be unclean until the even.
Again, if you touch their carcass, you're unclean until even. Wash your clothes, wash your skin, and that even come back. 29.
These also shall be unclean unto you among the creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth.
Okay, read that.
The weasel and the mouse.
So the weasel and the mouse. I feel weasel is an animal that usually in the forest, and the mouse. We got people in America that have a possum. Eat possum. It's a rodent. It's a mouse. Shouldn't be eaten. Again, the mouse. If you live in a house with mice, if it dies, don't touch the carcass. Read on.
And the mouse and the tortoise after his kind.
And the tortoise. The tortoise is like a turtle, but that's in water. Can't be eaten. I don't know how people eat it anyway. Got SHALAM there, but I guess people eat it. But according to the Bible, it's unclean. Shouldn't be eaten. Verse 30.
And the ferret.
And the ferret. Find out what the ferret is like.
God.
It's going to, I think verse 30 is going into reptilians. According to the Bible, no reptilians clean. You got it. I'm sure, yeah.
Yeah, you can get it on there.
Okay, so the ferret, the gecko, or a lizard. So lizards you can't eat. So people eat lizard legs, and so Chinese people usually eat lizard legs. According to the Bible, it's a sin to eat lizard legs, an abomination, it's unclean. Read on.
And the chameleon.
And the chameleon, another lizard that changes color. It can like camouflage, unclean, can't be eaten. Read on.
And the lizard.
Can't be eaten. Read on.
And the snail.
And the snail. In France, a lot of people eat snails in France. It's a norm. According to the Bible, that's off. Can't eat snail. Read on.
And the mole.
And the mole. A mole is a blind animal that digs under the earth. You know the mole. Can't be eaten. It's an abomination in the Bible. Read on.
These are unclean to you.
So they're unclean. Read on.
Among all that creep, whosoever does touch them, when they are dead, shall be unclean until the even.
Again, can't touch these. If you touch the calf of these unclean animals, you're unclean also. Read on.
And upon whatsoever any of them, when they are dead, doth fall, it shall be unclean.
Read.
Whether it be any vessel of wood, or raiment, or skin, or sack, whatsoever vessel it be, wherein any work is done.
So there you go. So if a dead animal falls on skins, meaning like leather skins or coat, that's unclean. It falls in a vessel. A vessel's like a plate made out of clay or something. That's unclean as well. Or raiment or your clothes. So if you find a dead mouse on your clothes, wash your clothes also, because it makes that clothes unclean also as well. Read on.
It must be put into water, and it shall be unclean until the even.
There you go. So you wash your clothes, and even it's clean again. Hang it out to dry. It can be worn again. 33.
And every earthen vessel, whereinto any of them falleth, whatsoever is in it shall be unclean, and you shall break it.
So an earthen vessel is like a clay plate, glass plate, no earthen. So if people put pork or any unclean animal, pork, camel, you gotta break that plate. Most ones is broken, thrown away. Read on.
Verse 34. Of all meat which may be eaten, that on which such water cometh shall be unclean.
There you go. So I can read that again. Read that for me again now.
Of all meat which may be eaten, that on which such water cometh shall be unclean. And all drink that may be drunk in every such vessel shall be unclean.
There you go. So if something unclean touches like a kettle, that water in the kettle is unclean as well. And anyone that drinks that water, they are also unclean also. Again, so any earthen vessel, break them. Make sure nothing unclean goes in that. Read on.
And everything whereupon any part of their carcass falleth shall be unclean. Whether it be oven or ranges for pots, they shall be broken down, for they are unclean. They shall be unclean unto you.
So whether you cook in a pot, that pot needs to be broken, or in the ovens. Back then they had brick ovens. They have to be broken down. You can't put anything unclean can't touch any of your belongings, whether your clothes, whether your cooking utensils, nothing. Give me you read on.
Verse 36. Nevertheless, a fountain or pit wherein there is plenty of water shall be clean.
So if a dead animal was to fall into the sea with plenty of water, it can't contaminate the whole sea. But a little lake or something, it can. So if a dead animal was to fall into a well where there's a little bit of water, that well is unclean, can't be drunk in. But if it's falling like a big sea or a reservoir, it can't contaminate the whole sea. Still clean. We done?
Shall be clean. But that which toucheth their carcass shall be unclean.
Read.
And if any part of their carcass fall upon any sowing seed, which is to be sown, it shall be clean.
Yeah, so if I got a garden and I'm planting grapes, and then my what do you call it, the shepherd dog used to die on that patch where I'm growing grapes, it's unclean, throw them away, can't sell them, can't eat them, can't gather them and sell them on to the supermarket, it's unclean. Some unclean animal died on that patch. Read on.
But if any water be put upon the seed, and any part of their carcass fall thereon, it shall be unclean unto you.
The water shall be unclean as well. Read on.
And if any beast of which ye may eat die, he that toucheth the carcass thereof shall be unclean until the even. And he that eateth of the carcass of it shall wash his clothes, and be unclean until the even.
So even if a clean animal just dies of its own, it's unclean, you can't eat it. animals must be killed. An animal can't die of old age or a roadkill and people eat it. That's also unclean as well. Move verse 40.
And he that eateth of the carcass of it shall wash his clothes, and be unclean until the even. He also that beareth the carcass of it shall wash his clothes, and be unclean unto the even.
So you go same again. If a man carries that same dead carcass, even if the animal is clean and it's died, old age or run over, disease, if you touch the animal, eat it, you're unclean. Wash your clothes, wash your skin, come back at even. 41.
And every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth shall be an abomination.
Read on.
It shall not be eaten.
Okay, read on. Gonna explain in 42. Read on.
Whatsoever goeth upon the belly, and whatsoever goeth upon all four, or whatsoever hath more feet among all creeping things that creep upon the earth, them ye shall not eat, for they are an abomination.
Here we go. So anything that's caused by the belly, like snakes, that have legs to on their belly, unclean, an abomination. 43.
Ye shall not make yourselves abominable with any creeping thing that creepeth, neither shall you make yourselves unclean with them. And neither shall you make yourselves unclean with them, that ye should be defiled thereby.
So we don't eat unclean animals or animals that die of themselves. The Most High gives us laws how to be clean. He gave us like secrets of how to live healthy and eat right. As you see, people that eat pigs and stuff get worms, diabetes, because the pig is not made for eating. It's an animal that the Most High made, and it has its purpose, but it's not for human consumption. Read on.
44. For I am the Lord your God. Ye shall therefore sanctify yourselves.
Sanctify means to be clean. Read on.
And ye shall be holy.
Holy means separate. So the Most High wants to be separate. He don't want us eating lizard legs and snails like the French and living like everybody else. He wants us separate, a nice, wise nation. Read on.
For I am holy. Neither shall ye defile yourselves with any manner of creeping thing.
Defile means to make yourself dirty. So the Most High, He don't want us to make ourselves dirty with any animal. He gave us the rules of what to eat and what not to eat, so we know what's clean and what's not clean. Read on.
That creepeth upon the earth.
Read.
For I am the Lord. For I am the Lord that bringeth you up out of the land of Egypt to be your God. Ye shall therefore be holy, for I am holy.
So the Most High wants us to be separate people. He don't want us like everybody else. If you read in Deuteronomy, he talks about, he wants the nations to look up and go, they're wise people. He don't want us dying like of diabetes like all the other nations. He wants us nice and healthy. Read on.
This is the law of the beast, and of the fowl, and of every living creature that moveth in the waters, and of every creature that creepeth upon the earth.
So we summon it up, saying this is the law. So he told Moses told us, from this time forth, our forefathers kept this law and this tradition. We know the rules. Just like how we teach our children. Moses taught us, we teach our children, and then it goes down. Read on.
To make a difference between the unclean and the clean.
So that at this point, we know what's unclean and what's clean. Now we can tell the difference. Before that, wasn't in Egypt, we didn't know these because the Egyptians didn't tell us. But that the Most High making sure that Israel knows this law. Read on.
And between the beast that may be eaten and the beast that may not be eaten.
Read on. Yeah, no, that's it. Okay. So at this point, Israel come out of Egypt. The Most High given them the law of what to eat and what not to eat. But see, Christians think that that's where the law came from, and they say, "Oh, the Judaic laws are over. Christ nailed it to the cross." But they don't know that that law was around before Moses. Before Moses was even born, that law was kept. We're gonna go to before Moses and read it. Give me Genesis 7:1.
Genesis 7:1.
Let me get that again. One.
Gone. And the Lord said unto Noah.
So this is Noah. Everyone knows Noah is before Moses. Well, you should know, so if you know your Bible. Are we done?
Come thou and all thy house into the ark, for thee have seen, Salaki, for thee have I seen righteous before me in this generation.
So there you go. Everyone knows about Noah and the ark, and he built the ark and he put animals into the ark so the Lord can flood the world. So this is Noah now, who's before Moses, and I'm also telling Noah to get beasts to put in the ark. Read on, verse 2.
Of every clean beast.
Of every what?
Clean beast.
So how did Noah know what clean beast was? This was before Moses. So Christians would say the law of Moses, or what they call it, the Judaic laws, but no one knew what was clean before Moses was even born. Does anyone know how no one knew? Let me give it a shot. No.
From Adam.
Yeah, so anyway, Adam taught Seth and so forth to Noah. He passed it down. Even though it wasn't written in stone when established as society, it was established in society, no one knew it. Even though it wasn't written down as the law of society, the law of the nation, no one knew it, regardless. So this law predates Moses. So this is the Lord's law. It's not to do with Moses. Christians like to say, well, that's the Jewish law, that's the Mosaic law. But this law was around before Moses was even around. Read that again.
Of every clean beast thou shalt take to thee by 7.
There you go. So every clean beast, Moses put them. Let me say Moses now. Noah put in the ark by 7. So when you hear that tune about the ark, about it took 2 and 2, that wasn't so. It took 7 of every clean beast, 7 men, 7 female beasts of the clean ones. Read on.
The male and his female.
Read on.
And of beasts that are not clean by 2.
There you go. So the unclean beast he put by 2. So no one knew this before the law was established through Moses. Read on.
The male and his female.
Read.
Of fowls also of the air by 7. The male and the female, to keep seed alive upon the face of the earth.
Okay, give me verse 8.
Come on. Of clean beasts, and of beasts that are not clean.
Again, there you go. Sum it up. No one knew what was clean and what wasn't clean. So these laws, the laws of what to eat have always been in effect from before Moses. So how come this is important? Because now Christians say we can eat what we want, but unclean and clean beasts been around since the beginning. This is the book of Genesis. This is the beginning. Read on.
Of clean beasts, and of beasts that are not clean, and of fowls, and of everything that creepeth upon the earth.
No, that's fine. Give me verse 9. Finish it up.
There went in 2 and 2 unto Noah into the ark, the male and the female.
There you go. So Noah knew what was clean. So these laws have been around since the beginning. When the Most High made the planet, he distinguished what animals he wanted to be eaten and what animals didn't want to be eaten. So this is before Moses. Give me Genesis 8 and 20.
Come. And Noah builded an altar unto the Lord.
There you go. More proof that the altar was before Moses also, because Noah built it also as well. Read on.
And took of every clean beast.
Took of every what?
Clean beast.
Read.
And of every clean fowl.
And of every clean fowl. So the clean beast and the clean fowl, took one of them. And read.
And offered burnt offerings on the altar.
So Noah knew what was clean. They even sacrificed it to the Lord. How did Noah know that the Lord don't accept unclean beasts? Because Adam taught him. So the dietary law, it is important. It was always been around. It's nothing new. It's got nothing to do with Moses. Because like I say, the Moses law. It's the law that the Most High put, to his chosen from the beginning. Okay, give me Romans 7 and 12. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, give me that.
Romans 7 and 12. Wherefore the law is holy.
The law is what?
Holy.
The law is holy. So the dietary law is holy. So how can man say, oh, God did away with that? Why would God do away with something that's holy? Read on.
And the commandment holy.
Read on.
And just and good.
And what?
Just and good.
And it's good. To not eat pork is good. You don't die of a painful death. You don't get diabetes and the gout and your ankle swelling up and tapeworms. The law is good. It's made for our good. So why would the Most High turn around and throw away laws that were good, that was made to keep us holy and keep us healthy? So how can a Christian say that when the Bible says the law is good? Why would the Most High do away with good laws? Give me Psalms 119 and 60. Any questions? Stop, You got that, yeah?
Psalms 119.
60.
Come on. I made haste.
Sorry. 160 verse. Psalms 119 and 160.
Psalms 119, 160.
Read.
The word is true.
The word is what?
True.
Read on.
From the beginning.
From the beginning. So the word is the Lord in the Bible. The word is true. Even from the beginning, from the time of Genesis, as we read. Read on.
And every one of thy righteous judgments,
including the dietary law. Read on.
endureth forever.
For how long?
Forever.
So then how can the Most High do away with the dietary law when it endureth forever? And Christ said it himself. Give me Matthew 5:17.
Matthew 5:17.
Yeah, give me that.
Think not that I am come to destroy the law.
So read that again, Slacker.
Think not that I come to destroy the law.
So Christ saying, don't even think that it's come to destroy the law. That's including the dietary law and all the other laws. Christ didn't come to destroy it. So how can a Christian turn around and say, Christ nailed it to the cross, done away with? Christ is saying here, he didn't come to destroy the law. So the same thing that David said about the law lasting forever. So the dietary law is still in effect. A man still shouldn't be eating pork or crab or shrimp or lobster, still in effect. And that's why our people die so much. All you got to do is do the statistics, and our people die of a high rate of high blood pressure, the gout, diabetes, because we don't want to eat this, so we're being punished. And then even people like Rastafarians, for instance, that don't eat pork, don't eat shrimp or crab or lobster. So either way, we don't follow the dietary law like we're supposed to. You can read that again up.
Come. Verse 17. Think not that I'm come to destroy the law.
So Christ didn't destroy the law. So the Christian pastor talking about he nailed it to his cross, and now we can eat what we want. When Christ died, that was the end of that was the end of the dietary law and all the other laws. That's a lie. Christ said he didn't destroy the law. We done?
All the prophets.
All the prophets. So the prophet in Isaiah, when he said how Christ would kill those who are eating swine, Christ didn't do away with it. We done?
I am not come to destroy,
Read.
but to fulfill.
So Christ didn't come to destroy, he comes to fulfill, mean to carry it out. We done?
For verily I say unto you, till heaven and earth pass.
So what?
Heaven and earth pass.
So till heaven and earth pass, till you come out your house and see no sky and look down and you see no ground under your feet. We done?
One jot.
One what?
One jot.
So one dot in of an I. We done?
Or one tittle.
And one cross of a T. Read.
Shall in no wise pass from the law.
So nothing shall pass from the law. Not one dot, not one dot in of an I or cross of a T shall pass from the law. So even the dietary law still stands. Black man shouldn't be eating pork. So many meat to eat from. You can have beef, you can have lamb, mutton. There's no need to eat pork. The Most High gave so much varieties of meat, even of birds. You don't have to be eating a vulture or owl when you can eat chicken. There's too many clean animals and fish. Snapper, hake, brim, tilapia. It's too much for a black man to be eating catfish or lobster or something like that. And plus, lobster is expensive as well. Why spending big money on an abomination? Save money and also save the wrath of the Most High as well. But yeah, read on.
Shall in no wise pass from the law till all be fulfilled.
So no wise shall pass from the law till all be fulfilled. And we know all ain't fulfilled. Because Christ ain't been a second coming yet. We ain't reigning no more. The white men ain't in chains. So therefore, you still can't eat pork. And even in the kingdom, you can't eat pork. But Christ is saying, none of these shall pass until all have been fulfilled. So give me Matthew 5:15-11. Then get some scripture where a Christian will go to try to prove that you can eat pork.
Matthew 15, verse 11. Not that which goeth into the mouth defileth a man, but that which cometh out of the man, this defileth a man.
Sorry, so I can read that again now.
Not that which goeth into the mouth.
So a Christian will come down and go, see, that which goes into the mouth. So I can eat what I want. I can eat pork, crab, lobster, read on.
Defileth a man.
So it's not that what goes to the mouth defiles a man. I can eat whatever I want. It don't make me unclean. I can eat whatever I want. I can eat pork, crab, lobster. That don't defile me. Read on.
But that which cometh out of the mouth, this defileth a man.
And they'll shut the book right there. You see, out of the words of Christ, so you can eat whatever you want. What goes into the mouth will defile a man. What comes out of the mouth. But didn't Christ say in Matthew 5:17 that he didn't come to destroy the law? So then why would he say in Matthew 15? So Christ said in Matthew 5:17 he's not come to destroy the law. And then a couple chapters later, he changes the law. when he clearly says not one jot or not one tittle shall no wise pass. So obviously there's a misunderstanding there, and we need to get some understanding. So what you need to do is get the context. Give me start from verse 1. That's what anyone should do. If you're reading a book, it might be smart to start from the top. Read that.
Then came to Jesus scribes and Pharisees.
So Christ is with his disciples, and scribes and Pharisees came. The scribes and Pharisees are your big religious leaders. That's like us at the I.S.U.P.K holding a meeting, and Crespo Dalla came in nice suit and TDJ. So the high people that we look up to, the NAACP, we done?
Which were of Jerusalem, saying,
Read.
Why do thy disciples transgress the tradition of the elders?
So they come in, why do your disciples transgress the tradition of the elders? So they had a tradition here. If you read on, it's washing hands. They had a tradition that the disciples didn't keep. So they're asking him, like, why are not your disciples, following our traditions? Read on.
For they wash not their hands when they eat bread.
When they eat what?
Bread.
When they eat what?
Bread.
So with pork, or with any meat, unclean or clean, even in the equation?
No.
We're talking about bread. We weren't talking about meat. We're talking about bread. So you read verse 2 again.
Verse 2. Why do thy disciples transgress the tradition of the elders? For they wash not their hands when they eat bread.
So that was the problem. The disciples didn't follow the tradition of the elders. Like today, you got certain traditions that these religious leaders do, like kiss their ring and give them money and so forth. And the disciples weren't doing that. They weren't washing their hands when they eat bread. And that was the tradition that the scribes and Pharisees did. Read on.
And he answered and said unto them, Why do you also transgress the commandment of God by your tradition?
So he's saying, you guys have traditions, but you don't follow the commandments of God. Read on.
For God commanded, saying, Honor thy father and mother.
Which is in the law. Read on.
And he that curseth father or mother, let him die the death.
Let him die the death. That death is written up in Deuteronomy, where the son disses his father, they will stone him to death. Read on.
But ye say, Whosoever shall say to his father or his mother, It is a gift, by whatsoever thou mightest be profited by me.
So they had a tradition where they would have followed this law, and they'll be free from their parents. Give me verse 20 for time's sake.
Verse 20. These are the things which defile a man, but to eat with unwashed hands defileth not a man.
Read that again.
These are the things which defile a man, but to eat with unwashed hands.
To eat with what?
Unwashed hands.
To eat with what?
Unwashed hands.
Read on.
Defileth not a man.
Did Christ say to eat pork defileth not a man? He said to eat with unwashed hands. So the disciples, they had a tradition where they wouldn't wash. They had a tradition where everyone washed their hands, and the disciples were following that tradition. So the Pharisees come like, why are you not showing respect? Why are you not washing your hands? And Christ says, you guys have your own traditions of washing hands, but you don't follow the laws of God. And then Christ even summed it up again in verse 20. After breaking it down to them, he went back and said, these are the things which defile a man, but to eat with not unwashing hands defileth not a man. So when it goes, that which goes into the mouth defileth a man, it's talking about not washing your hands, not about meat. Christ would never go against the laws of the Most High. But Christian would read one line, shut the book, and say, see, I can eat what I want. And also, I thought the law was done away with when Christ died, but he is alive. So what's Christ doing changing laws while he's alive? I thought you could eat pork once he nailed that law to the cross. But at this point, Christ is alive. So again, Christians need more understanding. So from there, we're going to Deuteronomy 12:15. And it's funny because a Christian don't believe in the Old Testament, but when it comes to eating pork, they'll put any scripture, even the Old Testament also.
Everyone,
You got that, yeah?
go on. Notwithstanding, thou mayest kill and eat flesh in all thy gates.
Read.
Whatsoever thy soul lusteth after,
Read.
according to the blessing of the Lord thy God, which he has given thee, the unclean and the clean may eat thereof,
Read.
as of the roebuck,
Read.
as of the hart.
There you go. So Christian will see. It says here, the unclean and the clean may eat thereof. Don't even believe in the Old Testament. They believe the Old Testament done away with, but they'll put the scripture on you. Because you can eat the unclean and the clean, just like the roebuck and the hart, which are clean animals, mind you. The roebuck is a deer, and the hart is another type of deer. But the Bible says precept upon precept, line upon line. So that's how we've got to read the Bible. Because Moses didn't specify what it meant in this one, in Deuteronomy 15:22, he goes deeper and explains what he meant by the unclean and clean you may eat. In 15:22, Deuteronomy.
Come. Thou shalt eat it within thy gates, the unclean and the clean person.
The unclean, the clean what?
Person.
The what?
Person.
But when it goes, you shall eat it in your gates, the unclean and clean may eat thereof. Here, he specifies what he meant. He meant the unclean and the clean person may eat it. Give me, read that again from the top.
Thou shalt eat it within thy gates, the unclean and the clean person.
Read on.
Shall eat it alike.
As the what?
As the roebuck.
Read on.
And as the hart.
Same thing that they said in the last. So the roebuck. So the unclean and clean you may eat. So I may eat as the roebuck and the hart. But Moses didn't specify. So a Christian would take advantage of that. Go see the unclean and clean may eat. But this scripture says, it explains what the unclean and clean was. The unclean and clean person may eat. So give me 1 Timothy 4:1.
First Timothy 4:1.
Read that.
Now the Spirit speaketh expressly, that in the latter times some shall depart from the faith,
Read.
giving heed to seducing spirits and doctrines of devils,
Read.
speaking lies in hypocrisy, having their conscience seared with a hot iron.
So saying in the latter times today, some shall depart from the faith, giving heed, paying attention to seducing spirits and doctrines of devils, like Christianity, Islam. Some people, they hear the doctrine, like it, seduces them, they take heed to it, and they leave the truth, they depart from the truth. So people do that. Yeah, we done.
Forbidding to marry,
We done.
and commanding to abstain from meats.
There you go. Christian, go see. That's a doctrine of devil. It said in the Bible that some people shall teach doctrine of devils, and the doctrine of devils is to abstain from meats. See, you're saying I can't eat pork, so you're making me abstain from meats. This is the doctrine of devil right here, man. This is not of God. Read that again from the top. I'll show you how the Christian drop that in there.
Forbidding to marry.
Now, verse 1.
Go on. Now the Spirit speaketh expressly, that in the latter times some shall depart from the faith,
Read.
giving heed to seducing spirits and doctrines of devils.
So Christians say, see, so there's some people that did that will teach a doctrine of a devil, a deceiver. Let's see what that doctrine of the devil is. Read on.
Speaking lies in hypocrisy,
Read.
having their conscience seared with a hot iron.
And then verse 3, go see, now this is the doctrine of the devil that people are going to be teaching in the future. Read on.
Forbidding to marry,
That's one of them.
and Salaki, and commanding to abstain from meats.
There you go. So you're commanding me to abstain from a meat. So this must be a doctrine of the devil, because you're telling me I can't eat pork or crab or shrimp or lobster. So this is a doctrine of the devil, not understanding the scripture fully. So read from the top again. We'll break it down properly.
From 3.
From verse 2.
Speaking lies in hypocrisy,
Read.
having their conscience seared with a hot iron. Forbidden to marry.
There you go. So forbidden to marry. So it's really talking about the doctrine of the devil that tells people they can't get married. It's like a Catholic. In the Catholic religion, to be a priest or a nun, you can't have a wife. Or even Christianity, they forbid you to marry. They say you can have one wife. That's it. Stop. No more wives. This is what the Bible's going into. It's not talking about the truth. Read on.
And commanding to abstain from meats,
Read.
which God hath created to be received with thanksgiving.
That's the meat. They tell you to abstain from meat which God have created to be received with thanksgiving. So what meat was received? What meat was created to be received with thanksgiving? Those in Leviticus 11 that we read of, the clean ones. You know what I mean? What Christians will read, they read the Bible from a 2015 standpoint, not from Paul's standpoint. Paul was a Jew who kept the law. So therefore, when he says meat, he's not talking about rat, cat, and dog. Just like if I say meat, I'm not talking about rat, cat, and dog. I don't eat that. Well, they'll read it from their point of view where pork is cool. So they go, see, you're telling me to not eat meat. But the Bible says people that in the future can tell you to not eat meat that was received, that was created to be received. Like for instance, the Catholics during the time of Lent, they say something like you can't eat meat for a month or so. That's what it's talking about. Like the word carnival, which comes from the Catholic Church. means to abstain from meat. That's what it's talking about. You read verse 4 again.
Verse 4.
Read that, yeah.
For every creature of God is good, and nothing to be refused,
So I can read verse 3, sorry.
forbidding to marry,
Read,
and commanding to abstain from meats,
read.
which God hath created to be received with thanksgiving.
So what animals did God create to be received with thanksgiving? The clean ones. Read on.
Of them which believe and know the truth.
So this is written to them which believe and know the truth. So hold that, we're going to find out what the truth is. Give me Psalms 119, 142. Also, this is written to those who believe and know the truth. So we're going to find out what the truth is.
Thy righteousness is an everlasting righteousness,
Read on.
and thy law is the truth.
The law is what?
The truth.
The law is what?
The truth.
The law is the truth. So go back to 1 Timothy 4 and 3. That's the end part. Which God has created, you see. So according to the Bible, the law is the truth. So Paul said, forbidding to marry and commanding to abstain from meats which God hath created to be received with thanksgiving of them which believe and know the truth. So them who know the law, so them who know the law and know that you can't eat fish, crab, shrimp, lobster, they know you can only eat clean meats, and that's who Paul was writing to. So again, a Christian needs more understanding before they pull the scriptures out. As I said, you can't read a book from the middle. You start from the beginning first, get the setting, get the scenery, then you can go to the end. You can't just rush to the end, otherwise you won't get it. Give me Acts 24 and 14. Because this 1 Timothy was written by Paul. So let's see what kind of man Paul was.
Acts 24 and 14.
So like before we start, this is Paul speaking. Same person who wrote Timothy's. We're going to see what kind of man he was first, and find out what kind of person he was. Then we're going to go into it. That's me, yeah?
Come. But this I confess unto thee, that after the way which they call heresy,
Read on.
so worship I the God of my fathers,
Read.
believe in all things which are written in the law.
Paul believes what?
All things which are written in the law.
Paul believes what?
All things which are written in the law.
So Paul believes all things which are written in the law. That's including the dietary law. So why would Paul tell Timothy that he can eat what he wants when Paul says he believes in everything that's written in the law? Read it from the top.
But this I confess unto thee, that after the way which they call heresy,
Read.
so worship I the God of my fathers, believe in all things which are written in the law.
Read.
And in the prophets.
So Paul believes in everything written in the law. That's including the dietary law, including Leviticus 11. So why would Paul then turn around and tell Timothy, you can eat whatever you want? Why would he do that? Again, Christians just need more understanding. Paul was a Jew. He said, oh, you get scripture about Paul was a Hebrew. Any questions, by the way? No.
No.
Everyone understand me so far?
Come.
Okay, give me Philippians 3 and 5. Is that it, yeah?
Come. Philippians 3 and 5.
So Paul speaking again, yeah?
Circumcised the 8th day.
So Paul was circumcised on the 8th day, just like it's written up in the law. Paul was circumcised on the 8th day because the law said so. Read on.
Of the stock of Israel.
Read.
Of the tribe of Benjamin.
Read on.
And Hebrew of the Hebrews.
So Paul was a Hebrew of Hebrews. So Paul kept the law. He was circumcised on the 8th day. Read on.
As touching the law.
Read.
A Pharisee.
So Paul was circumcised on the 8th day, kept the laws, was a Pharisee. So why would he then all of a sudden tell Timothy, you can eat what you want? Paul wouldn't do such a thing. Also in Acts, he said he kept the law of his fathers and the prophets. So why would Paul then turn around and switch it up? So again, pastors just need more understanding on the scriptures. Next scripture we're going to get Colossians 2:16. Is that there?
Go on.
Okay, there.
Colossians 2:16.
Read.
Let no man therefore judge you in meat, or in drink, or in respect of a holy day, or of the new moon, or of the Sabbath days.
So a Christian again. So let no man judge you therefore in meat or in drink. You're judging me. You're saying I'm unclean because I'm eating a pork sandwich. And Paul clearly says that no man judge you of meat or in drink. So how would you explain that one? Does anyone know what Paul's talking about in this instance? Nah. No. No idea.
Is that the Northern Kingdom?
Nah, it's talking to the Colossians there.
Okay.
The Israelites scattered in Colossia. And telling them that no man judge you in meat or drink. So Christian goes, so you're judging me in meat and drink? You're saying I can't eat this? You are judging me? Paul clearly says that no man judge you in this.
You doing that where you get your meat from?
No, not in this one, no. What he's talking about is sacrifice in a nutshell. Christ was the last sacrifice. In the Bible, we had meat sacrifices and drink sacrifices. But again, if you don't read the Old Testament, how you going to just, well, what man calls the Old Testament, how you going to just open the book halfway and know what it's talking about? Well, we're going to get it. Give me Joel 1:9. This is what it means by meat and drink. That no man judge you in meat and drink. Because Christ got sacrificed, so there's no need to sacrifice today. Well, sacrifice in a way of lambs, meat offerings, drink offerings. That's what he's talking about. That Joel
1:9.
1:9. Let me get it.
Come.
I can't start today. I can't speak. What do you mean?
Okay. The meat offering.
The what?
The meat offering.
You done?
And the drink offering.
That's the meat and drink that Paul's talking about in the New Testament. That no man judge you meat and drink. Talking about that meat offering and that drink offering, not meat and drink. That's what it's talking about. But if you don't read the Old Testament, then how would you know? Just go to the New Testament. Just read everything verbatim. Read it again.
The meat offering.
Read.
And the drink offering.
You done?
It's cut off from the house of the Lord.
That's the Lord doing away with us at the time. Saying the meat offering and drink offering is cut away. Give me Leviticus 23:37.
Leviticus 23:7.
23:37. Read that.
These are the feasts of the Lord,
Read.
which ye shall proclaim to be holy.
There you go again. So talking about the feast of the Lord, you will sacrifice on these days. That's why in Colossians it said, "Let no man judge you in meat and drink, and in respect of a holy day." Feast day, it says here in Colossians, holy day. Read on.
Which ye shall proclaim to be holy convocations,
Read.
to offer an offering made by fire unto the Lord.
There you go. So on these holy days, we have offerings, burnt offerings. You use your lamb, cut the lamb throat, drain the blood out, put it on the altar, it's like a barbecue grill, and the Savior will go up. Read on.
A burnt offering.
Read.
And a meat offering.
A what?
A meat offering.
Read on.
A sacrifice.
Read.
And drink offerings.
And a what?
A drink offerings.
And a drink offering. That's the offering that Paul was talking about, that no man judge you in meat and drink. We're talking about eating abominable food. It's not about an offering, that no man tell you what's your offering. Because Christ already died for that man. You know what I mean? That man sinned all his life, made mistakes, and now he don't need an offering because Christ is the offering for him. Christ died for him, so he can come back. That's the concept that Paul's talking in. Just read that again for me.
Gone. These are the feasts of the Lord,
Read.
which ye shall proclaim to be holy convocations,
Read.
to offer an offering made by fire unto the Lord. a burnt offering,
Read.
and a meat offering, a sacrifice,
Read.
and drink offerings, everything upon his day.
That's what Paul's talking about. But if you don't read what was written of before time, how would you know? The Bible says the things written aforetime written for our learning. Let me get that actually. No one got a question now? Look at Romans 15:4. Is that it, yeah?
Come. For whatsoever things were written aforetime.
So the things that are written aforetime, meaning what man would call the Old Testament, things before when Paul was writing the book of Romans, you know, Genesis, Deuteronomy, the prophets, the things that are written before our birth, we done?
Were written for our learning.
Were written for what?
Our learning.
Written for our learning. So how are you going to just read the New Testament and understand it? You got to read what was written before, and then maybe you can read the New Testament and understand it with the right teacher. But you can't just read the New Testament and get the understanding. You got to know the custom of the Jews, what they did eat, what they didn't eat. Then maybe you can break down the New Testament, but you can't just jump into the New Testament and break down all the mysteries. Read that again now.
For whatsoever things were written aforetime
Read.
were written for our learning.
Written for our learning. Read on, finish it up.
That we through patience and comfort of the scriptures might have hope.
There you go. So you need to read the things that are written aforetime to learn. You can't understand the New Testament like that. Give me again on this meat and drink offering. Give me Numbers 15:4.
Numbers 15:4.
So let me get the so like yeah, read that.
Then shall he that offereth his offering unto the Lord bring a meat offering of a tenth deal of flour.
So talk about offerings again. A deal is like a portion. For a man shall be a tenth deal of flour. Read that.
Mingled with the fourth part of a hin of oil.
Read. It's like a hin is the measurement. So when it's a hin of oil, today you say 2 tablespoons or whatever, gram, kilogram. Saying a hin of oil. Read that.
And the fourth part of a hin of wine for a drink offering.
For what?
A drink offering.
That's a drink offering again. They said that no man judge with meat or drink. Read on.
Shall thou prepare with the burnt offering or sacrifice for one lamb?
That's the meat and drink. What's that? 1 second. Yeah, that's the meat and drink offering again in the book of Numbers, in the Old Testament again. So that's what Paul was referring to. He said that no man judge you in meat or drink on a holy day. So we go back to Colossians 2:16. We'll shed some more light on what you're reading. Because we know Paul ain't saying break the law. So all we need to understand is, because we read that Paul kept the law, we read he was circumcised on the 8th day, we read Christ said he didn't take them from the law. David also said that the law endure forever. So all we need to understand is, okay, Colossians 1:2-16.
Let no man therefore judge you in meat or in drink or in respect of any holy day.
There you go. What would they do on these holy days? Anyone know? Or what we just read? What would they do on the holy days? Likewise,
Food and drink.
food and drink. There you go. That's what Paul's talking about. Read on.
Or in respect of any holy day, or of the new moon, or of the Sabbath days.
What were they doing on the Sabbath days and these holy days? Sacrificing.
Sacrificing.
That's what Paul's talking about. Read on.
Which are a shadow of things to come.
Which are shadow of things to come. I mean, the sacrifice was there. Like we sacrifice, but now Christ is sacrificed. I mean, like a shadow. Like if you see a shadow, it's the image, but it's not the thing. The sacrifice was the image of what Christ is going to do in the future. You understand what I'm saying? Like, just like in the book of Hebrews, we had a tabernacle and the holies of holies, but that represented Christ going to the heavens, which is the real holies of holies. So that's what it means by shadow of things to come. Right?
17.
Yeah, finish up.
Which are a shadow of things to come, but the body is of Christ.
There you go. So hope everyone understands what I'm talking about. You know, what's that? Talking about the meat and drink. You gotta pay attention, man. Gotta pay attention. Okay, so That give me Romans 7 and 1.
Romans 7 and 1. Know ye not, brethren?
Sorry, so this is Paul speaking again, and it's the book of Romans, chapter 7. So it starts, this is how it starts the chapter up. Read that again.
Know ye not, brethren?
Speaking to the brethren, according to the Bible, Paul's brethren are the Jews, Hebrew Israelites. We done?
For I speak to them that know the law.
I speak to them that what?
Know the law.
So Paul speaks to them that know the law. He speaks to them that know the law already. Paul's sending letters to the top men of the church, not the laymen. So they know the law already. So when Paul says if you eat meat, he don't have to specify. Like if I say to you, go to the shop and get some meat for me, I don't have to say, go to the shop and get some meat. When I say meat, I don't mean monkey or dog, because you know I don't eat that. So Paul don't have to specify. But Christian will get a scripture where Paul don't specify. We'll see. He says meat. Meat, that means pork, anything. You know what I mean? Reading it out of context. You can't. If I don't drink alcohol, I say to you, can you give me a drink, please? You know I'm not talking about an alcoholic drink. Or someone else will take what I wrote and go, he said drink, that's anything. But you gotta understand the context. We know Paul's a man that don't eat unclean food. Paul's a man that's a Jew. The Jews don't eat unclean food. According to the law, they don't eat unclean food. So we shouldn't have to specify. If he says meat, you find out what he defines as meat. And he don't define pork as meat. Just like I don't define cat as meat. I don't define dog as meat. I go to the butcher and there's 20 pounds of chicken and 20 pounds of rat. Then the chicken 20 pounds of meat and the rat was 20 pounds of rat. It's not meat to me. I don't eat it. And that's the problem with Christians. They read it from a 2015 perspective. You know what I mean? So if I say I eat meat, like the context changes depending on the culture of the other people. And Christians need to understand the culture of the Jews before they read the Bible. If I say I eat meat, you know what I'm on about? When Hannibal Lecter takes the same book, he will think you can eat people. You know what I mean? So anyway, yeah, read that again.
Know ye not, brethren? For I speak to them that know the law.
So Paul speaks to them that know the law. So in the scriptures where he don't specify, you don't have to. You gotta find out what his laws are, what his traditions are. And you would know that he don't eat pork or crab or any unclean stuff. Read Romans 14 and 1. So this is one of the scriptures to go to. So he said meat, he said all things, therefore all things. We're gonna see.
Him that is weak in the faith, receive ye.
So him that is weak in the faith, meaning him that's a newcomer or a novice, receive him. You know what I mean? Encourage him, bring him in. You done?
But not to doubtful disputations.
You done?
For one believeth that he may eat all
There
things.
you go. See, all things. Paul said all things. You know what I mean? That includes rat, cat, shrimp, dog, whatever. But Paul doesn't have to specify. The same book of Romans is speaking to people that know the law. In the same book. So the person knows the person who's reading this, the big man of the church, knows that point talking about this. But read on.
For one believeth that he may eat all things.
Read.
Another who is weak eateth herbs.
There you go. So that's the argument here. One man saying that he can eat meat, and the other man saying that he only eats herbs. That's the argument. Not about pork. But they go see people are arguing about eating pork and stuff. And according to the Bible, that's wrong. Paul says don't argue about eating meat, about eating pork. But the argument is people that eat meat, clean meats, mind you, and people that eat herbs. Because what you had was in Rome, people sacrificed meat to gods. So one man will say, you know what, I'm gonna play it safe. I'm not eating no meat at all. You know what I mean? Just like today, some people might feel a way about eating Chinese and say, you know, I'll sacrifice the Buddha, so I allow it. And I'll eat herbs only. Another man's like, it's just an idol. You can't do me nothing. I'll eat it. It's an idol. The meat's clean. The Lord made it. No big deal. That's the argument here. It's nothing to do with unclean meat. But read that again.
Verse 2. For one believeth that he may eat all things.
Read.
Another who is weak eateth herbs.
That's the argument. Meat and herbs. Well, Christians will see the all meat and go see. It means all meat. When that's not the case, we're gonna go to the famous Acts 10 and 9.
Acts 10 verse 9.
I'm gonna set the scene. So Peter has seen a vision at this time. Or does it read that? So he's seen a vision, and on the vision he sees unclean meat. So read on.
On the morrow, as they went on their journey, and drew nigh unto the city, Peter went up upon the housetop to pray about the 6th hour.
So Peter's going to pray at the time. We done?
And he became very hungry,
So Peter became hungry at the time, and we done?
and would have eaten.
Read.
But while they made ready, he fell into a trance.
So Peter's hungry, and while they're making it, he fell into a trance. Trance like a daydream, a spiritual daydream. Verse 11.
And he saw heaven opened,
And he saw the clouds open. Read.
and a certain vessel descending unto him, as it had been a great sheet knit at the four corners, and let down to the earth.
So we saw like a vision, a great sheet coming down, and knitted on four corners. Read on.
Wherein were all manner of four-footed beasts of the earth.
So on the sheet, you're seeing all manners, different kinds of four-footed beasts. So you're seeing sheep, what else is four-footed? Hyenas, anything you can think of. Read on.
Giraffe.
Yes, God.
And wild beasts and creeping things, and fowls of the air.
And fowls of the air as well. So you're seeing birds, eagles, vultures, the same ones that we read that you couldn't eat of. 13.
And there came a voice to him, Rise, Peter, kill and eat.
So you hear the voice saying, Peter, rise, kill it, eat it. Read on.
But Peter said, Not so,
Read.
Lord, for I have never eaten anything that is common or unclean.
Read.
And the voice spake unto him again the second time, What God has cleansed, that call not thou common.
There you go. So the Christians will see. So what God has cleansed, you can't call common. God's cleansed this. God's cleansed the pig now. He's cleansed the giraffe. He's cleansed the shrimp, the pork, the lobster. It says here, what God has cleansed, that call not common. That's what they'll say. But what they don't understand is, first of all, a Christian to think that's certainly right here, because give me verse 14.
14. But Peter said, Not so, Lord, for I have not eaten anything that is common or unclean.
But Christ passed at this time, crucified. I thought he nailed to the cross. So how come now, yeah, Peter hasn't eaten nothing unclean? If Christ nailed to the cross, surely he should have eaten by now. Give me 17.
Now while Peter doubted in himself what this vision which he had seen should mean.
So Peter doubted himself. He wasn't sure what does it mean. So surely the vision couldn't be so simple. A Christian will see there. There you go. You can eat what you want. But Peter himself, he doubted it. So Peter himself knew it couldn't have meant what he thought it meant. It couldn't have been that easy. So he doubted himself. It wasn't that easy. But again, we'll start from verse 1 and we're going to see what this vision meant. 10 and 1.
There was a certain man in Caesarea called Cornelius, a centurion of the band called the Italian band.
So there's a man called Cornelius, who was a centurion. The centurion's hundreds of thousands, over 1,000 men. And a band is an army. So the big man over 1,000 men in the band is the army. And his was called the Italian band. Like, you got the SWAT team and you got the FBI. His was called the Italian band. That's the name of his division, should I say. Read on.
A devout man,
A devoted man. Read on.
and one that feared God with all his house,
To fear God is to keep the commandments. So this man feared the Most High. Read.
which gave much alms to the people.
Alms is like charity or money. Give alms to the people. They help them out. Read on.
And prayed to God always.
And he always prayed as well. Read on.
He saw in a vision, evidently about the 9th hour of the day, an angel of God coming into him, saying unto him, Cornelius.
So the angel came to this man, the same man that was devoted and kept the law. The angel came to him. Read that verse 4.
And when he looked on him, he was afraid and said, What is it, Lord?
Read.
And he said unto him, Thy prayers and thine alms are come up for a memorial before God.
There you go. So the Lord heard his prayers. And this man's an Israelite also, according to the Bible, according to the priest of the Bible. Even though it says he was Italian, he was a black man that worked for the army. Just like you got black people in the police force today. And they always pray for the Lord. That's, he was an Israelite also, because his prayers were up for the Most High. And we know the Lord only heals Israel. But read on.
And now send men to Joppa, and call for one Simon, whose surname is Peter.
So again, so this lawful Israelite man that was a part of that was a centurion, an angel came to him. It's a goal for Peter. Peter was the headman of the church that Christ put in charge. The angel said, go and look for this man called Peter, because Peter was the man in charge. He had the keys. He was the go-to man. So obviously, you go to Peter. he tells you what to do, that's the man you got to go to if you want to make it to the kingdom. Verse 6.
And he lodgeth with one Simon, a tanner, whose house is by the seaside.
So the same Peter that you're going to, he lodgeth with a man called, he lodgeth with he lodgeth with one called Simon, meaning he stays in the same house as a man called Simon. Are we done?
Salaki. A tanner, whose house is by the seaside.
Read.
He shall tell thee what thou oughtest to do.
There you go. So he's saying, go find Peter, the man that Christ put in charge, and he will show you what to do. You know, anything you need to do in this truth, go to Peter, he will show you what to do. We done?
And when the angel which spoke unto Cornelius was departed,
Read.
he called 2 of his household servants,
So Cornelius called 2 of his servants. We done?
and a devout soldier of them,
And a soldier also. Read.
that waited on him continually.
We done?
And when he had declared all these things unto them, he
Read.
sent them to Joppa.
So he sent him to Joppa. That's the same place where Peter was, which the angel commanded him to go if he wanted to speak to Peter. We done?
On the morrow,
The next day.
as they went on their journey, and drew nigh unto the city,
But the next day, they're going to the city, and they're getting closer now. We done?
Peter went up upon the housetop to pray about the 6th hour.
So this is what the Christians just went to. We'll read the whole story. So while they're looking for Peter, Peter's going to pray. This is where he gets the vision. They're looking for Peter. Peter's getting a vision at the same time. Read.
And he became very hungry, and would have eaten. But while they made ready, he fell into a trance,
Fans like daydream, spiritual trance. Read on.
and saw heaven opened, and a certain vessel descending unto him,
Read.
as it had been a great sheet knit at the 4 corners,
Read on.
and let down to the earth, wherein were all manners of 4-footed beasts of the earth, and wild beasts, and creeping things, and fowls of the air.
Read.
And there came a voice to him, Rise, Peter, kill and eat.
This is where your Christian church goes to see to eat it. God told you to eat it. Why would God tell you to do something simple? We're going to get understanding of what this vision meant. Read on.
But Peter said, Not so, Lord, for I have never eaten anything that is clean or uncommon.
There you go. Why hasn't Peter eaten something that's common or unclean? Does anyone know?
The law still stands.
Exactly. From he was born, his father taught him. When he rode with Christ, Christ taught him. So up until now, you can eat that, and even further, read on.
Verse 15. And the voice spoke unto him again the second time, What God has cleansed, that call not thou common.
So you see what God has cleansed, don't call common. Common is what everyone eats. You know, Israelites, we ain't common people, we're holy people. Read on.
This was done thrice.
This is done 3 times, read.
And the vessel which received up again into heaven.
So we've done 3 times. Peter denied it. No, man, I can't eat this. And that same vessel that came down with the dirty animals on there went back up into heaven. Read on.
Now while Peter doubted in himself,
So Peter doubted himself. Like, what was that about? Like, I know I can't eat pork, but I like saying I must eat unclean beasts. Read on.
what this vision which he had seen should mean.
So Peter didn't know. So I don't know how he passed the nose when Peter himself is a man of God, doubting himself. He's not sure. Like, oh, I'm not sure about this. But you pass the nose. I don't understand. But boy, carry on.
Behold, the men which were sent from Cornelius had made inquiry for Simon's house.
So remember him saying men that Cornelius sent to find Peter. They're asking, like, you know where Peter's house is. They're asking, they're inquiring, they're getting closer. Like, you know where Peter is? No man called Peter. You know, apparently he looks like this. You know, he loves you with one called Simon. You know where he lives. You done?
And stood before the gate,
And stood at his gate in front of his house. You done?
and called, and asked whether Simon, which was surnamed Peter, were lodged there.
So they're asking people, you know, man called Simon, surname Peter. You know, people are saying, yeah, yeah. You done?
While Peter thought on the vision,
There you go. So he thought on it again, like, you know, have you had like, have you had a mad dreams, crazy? You're in your house thinking, nah, man, saying it right, man. He's got that. This is serious. He knows from he was born from the time of Moses, time of Noah, he knows you can't eat unclean food. So he's thinking like, nah, man, saying it right, man. Read. So, now, even when he's still looking for him, he's still thinking about the vision. You done?
the Spirit said unto him, Behold, 3 men seek thee.
So Spirit said to him at the Bible, like, 3 men looking for you. You done?
Arise therefore, and get thee down, and go with them, doubting nothing, for I have sent them.
So the Spirit told him to go down there, don't doubt them, don't ask who are you, man. Just go with them, don't doubt nothing. You done?
Then Peter went down to the men which were sent unto him from Cornelius, and said, Behold, I am he whom ye seek, which is the cause wherefore ye are come.
So Peter come and go, yeah, I'm the guy looking for. I'm the reason why you're here, actually. You found me. Read on.
And they said, Cornelius, the centurion, a just man, and one that feareth God, and of good report among all the nation of the Jews.
He had a good report. A good report. He had a good
Reputation.
Yeah, good reputation. He's not known for owing money and not paying it back. You know what I mean? He's not known for sleeping around. He's got a good report. You ask about him, say, oh, you know man Cornelius? People go, yeah, I know him, man. A good man, good brother. You know what I mean? Read on.
Among all the nation of the Jews,
Read.
was warned from God by an holy angel
The angel told him, yeah, read on.
to send for thee into his house
Read.
and to hear the words of thee.
So again, so he said it goes, the angel told Cornelius to come get you, because the angel told him to, when the angel said, angel sent him to his house and to hear the words of thee. Wants to know what Simon can do for him. 23.
Then called he them in
They called him in his house, yeah.
and lodged them.
He made them stay at his house. Read on.
And on the morrow Peter went away with them.
So the next day, he went with them. The day they came in, he let them stay, made them breakfast. In the morning, he went back to Cornelius with them. Read on.
And certain brethren from Joppa accompanied him.
So certain of his friends from Joppa, some of his friends from Joppa went with him as well. Probably keep him company or just, protect him or whatnot. Read on.
And the morrow after they entered into Caesarea, and Cornelius waited for them, and had called together his kinsmen and near friends.
So Cornelius knows that he's coming. So he got all his friends around that come. This guy's coming. The holy guy's coming. You know what I mean? You don't have to come. Read on.
And as Peter was coming in, Cornelius met him
Read.
and fell down at his feet and worshipped him.
Read.
But Peter took him up, saying, Stand up, I myself also am a man.
So Peter opened the door. Cornelius bowed down to him, man. You see a man that you reverence a lot, you have respect for him. You bow down like, oh, you're here, man. But Peter's like, nah, man. You know what I mean? Don't do that. Stand up, man. I'm a man like you. You don't worship me. 27.
And as he talked with him, he went in and found many that were come together.
So he talked to him, went more into the house, saw more people. You done?
And he said unto them, Ye know how that it is an unlawful thing for a man that is a Jew to
man
keep
that's a what?
a Jew
We done?
to keep company
Read.
or come unto one of another nation.
There you go. So a man that's a Jew, it was an unlawful thing for him to keep company from someone from another nation. At this point, the northern tribes of Israel, or those that were cast away, were considered another nation. You read that in the Book of Kings. They were considered two different nations. So he's saying, you know that it's unlawful for me to keep company with someone from another nation, even though they were blood relatives from the nation Israel, but they were considered two different nations. Read on.
Or come unto one another, or Salaki, or come unto one of another nation.
Read.
But God has showed me.
God has what?
God has showed me.
God has what?
God has showed me.
God has showed him. Remember, God showed him in the dream. Read that again.
But God has showed me
God has showed him. Read on.
that I should not call any man common,
what?
any man
Read on.
common or unclean.
Did he say not call any food common or unclean? So what was that vision about that he saw? That God said, rise, kill and eat.
Like the Northern Kingdom.
Talking about people. That's what the vision was about. Vision ain't up front like a parable. So when it said rise, kill and eat, the Moses saying, accept your brothers from the northern tribe again. That's what it meant. They're considered unclean. They weren't circumcised no more. They weren't keeping the laws like they should have been. They were eating unclean things. They were dressing like Romans. They were acting like Romans. So he said, oh, them men are unclean, man. I can't. You know what I mean? No deal with them. I'm like, nah, accept them in again. They're your brothers. You gotta be one nation again. That's what the parable was about. It wasn't. You don't read. It wasn't verbatim. It was what's it called? An allegory. It wasn't straightforward. But you read that again. Read 28 again. He explains.
And he said unto them, Ye know how that it is an unlawful thing for a man that is a Jew to keep company or come unto one of another nation.
Read.
But God has shown me.
God has what?
Showed me.
God showed him in a vision. Read on.
That I should not call any man common. Any man.
Any who?
Any man.
Any food.
Any man.
Read on.
Common or unclean.
When did Peter say don't eat nothing common or unclean? When did God say, what I've cleansed, don't call common or unclean? What we're talking about, it says man. We're not talking about food. So Christian will read that again. Christian will go, give me verse 15 again, please.
And the voice spake unto him again the second time, What God has cleansed, that call not thou common.
Read on. Call up common, exactly. Now back 28. Let's see what God was talking about that you shouldn't call common. Read 28.
And he said unto them, Ye know how that it is an unlawful thing for a man that is a Jew to keep company or common to one of another nation. But God has showed me that I should not call any man common or unclean.
There you go. That's what I was talking about. The northern tribe. So we call them unclean, uncircumcised people. According to the Bible, God wants us to be back again. It reads also in the Old Testament what man calls the Old Testament. It says that we should be one nation again. And in the book of Ezekiel, I think 37, to write Judah on one stick and Israel on one stick and put them together, they should be one stick again. This is what you see in here. This is them coming back together again under Christ, under Peter, but the Most High put down. So give me Isaiah 66 and 15. So do you understand the scripture about the unclean beast?
Can't.
So what's about them, you know? You know what it's referring to, the unclean. Yeah. You know, Isaiah 66 and 16.
For by fire and by his sword will the Lord plead with all flesh,
Read on.
and the slain of the Lord shall be many.
This is talking about the future. As we know, we ain't seen the Lord kill, the Lord meaning Christ, kill many people yet. So it's saying the future prophecy. Actually, give me verse 15.
Can't. For behold, the Lord will come with fire and with his chariots.
There you go. We know the chariots are what man called UFOs today. So the Lord's going to come with his chariots. We ain't seen it happen yet. Future prophecy. The Lord will come with his chariots, which is UFOs. You know?
Like a whirlwind.
Like a whirlwind. You know, a UFO spin. Like a whirlwind. It's like a whirlwind. Same way a whirlwind spins. You know?
To render his anger with fury and his rebuke with flames of fire.
Christ is coming back to kill. Coming back with his chariots. I think it's 200 million angels coming with. Or in the book of Revelation, it's coming with the clouds. You know, clouds is something that flies in the air. So John the Baptist described it as a cloud. Are we done?
For by fire and by his sword will the Lord plead with all flesh,
Read.
and the slain of the Lord shall be many.
So Christ come back to kill. You know, he's come back to kill all the white man first and foremost, all the nations that are against him, even Israel that don't believe, want to be wicked as well. 17.
They that sanctify themselves and purify themselves in the gardens, behind one tree in the midst, eating swine's flesh.
Eating what?
Swine's flesh.
Who's Christ going to kill? Those eating swine's flesh. We done?
And the abomination.
What else?
And the mouse.
We done?
Shall be consumed together.
What about them?
Be consumed together.
They're going to die. So this is a future prophecy. So how can Christ kill people for eating mice and abominations if the Lord's done away with? And you can eat that now? This thing happened yet? And you know, we know the Most High's word don't go out void. So we know in the future, Christ's going to kill people that's eating mice, swine, and any abomination, that's the snail, anything. So how can this take place? How can the Most High give a prophecy and say this will happen? If you eat pork now, it's fine. Then Christ can't kill you. Then therefore we should throw this book away. That's how you know that the Christians don't have a good understanding on the Bible. The Bible just flows. You don't jump. You don't skip. And this is a future prophecy. And Christ will kill those who eat the abomination. So, read that again, verse 15.
Verse 15. For behold, the Lord will come with fire, and with his chariots like a whirlwind,
Read.
to render his anger with fury,
Read.
and his rebuke with flames of fire. For by fire and by his sword will the Lord plead with all flesh, and the slain of the Lord shall be many. They that sanctify themselves and purify themselves in the garden, behind one tree in the midst, eating swine's flesh.
Eating what?
Swine's flesh.
Eating what?
Swine's flesh.
That's what our people like to do. Eat swine's flesh. That's the most popular abomination our people eat. That's the pork, the ham sandwich, the bacon, the jet pork, gelatine sweets, everywhere. We done?
And the abomination.
And the abomination, that's a snail. Anything that's unclean, we done?
And the mouse.
And the mouse. In America, in the South, eat possum. People eat the rabbit, which is part of the rodent family. Read on.
Shall be consumed together.
What shall happen?
Shall be consumed together.
People that eat pork shall what?
be consumed together.
Did they die? According to the Bible. So I don't see how a Christian can mangle two scriptures and say eat what you want. When the Bible clearly says Christ will kill those that eat abomination and swine and pig. So with that, any questions or should we pray out or?
I've got one. Like, when you go out to eat in a restaurant, what would you say then now? Because like say at Burger King, I'm sure there's on the grill about burger and about the bacon.
Yeah, like as I'm saying, it's not a crime. All you gotta do is ask the chef and say, how does it work around here? Do you cook it on the same thing? You can ask and they'll tell you. Yes, do give it a pass. Or yes, ask it, so what's your food procedures here? Do you use the same glove? And most of them don't. Shouldn't do anyway because of cross contamination and the vegetarians and stuff. So they shouldn't do. Just ask and just check the packets, check the ingredients. Anything outside the ingredients, nothing much can you do. But it says gelatin on there. From what I know, gelatin for you get beef gelatin and so forth. But yeah, any food establishments, ask them. If you go to a place and you see the man using the same glove for pork or whatnot, then I'll give it a miss.
No question. You see the one about like breaking the plate that so that someone wants to eat and they obviously the uncle failed to go to my friend's house and ate off their plate to eat, so that was actually one thing.
Yeah, you're supposed to break the plate. That's why, me personally, people that eat pork, I avoid them, to be honest. Luckily for me, people I know don't eat pork, because many people I know from that same background, so don't eat pork. But people that eat pork, I avoid them anyway, to be honest. But yeah, pork, I think it's metal, the Bible says you can clean it out, but if it's earthen, it's like clay, glass, you can break it. Any questions?
What you're bringing out is really like powerful, you see, because a lot of Christians, as you said earlier on, will pick and choose, you see, what scriptures of the Lord they'll follow. Like, for example, the Seventh-day Adventists will say, well, they'll keep the Sabbath day and they'll only, they'll keep the dietary law, but then when it comes to the holy days and so forth, they'll say it's been nailed to the cross.
That's what they do. They say it's been nailed to the cross. Like, even with the meat one, they say it's nailed to the cross, but why ain't Peter, like, it's probably nailed to the cross, so why ain't Peter eating anything unclean still? So I don't understand, but the saying says context is key. That's the problem. They're not reading it in context. They're reading it from their standpoint. How are you going to read an old book from your point of view? You know what I mean? And they read it from the UK where pork is cool to eat now. So they say this is meat, where not knowing that where pork comes from, pork isn't meat. Just pig. It's not meat. You know what I mean? Like bleaching a drink to use it. Just bleach. You know what I mean? Like, that's what these Christians do. They don't read it from the proper context. That's the problem. No, this is not. Should pray out. Okay, let's pray out. So the announcements.